Welcome back, guys. We are back for the second game of the day for week 2, season of Open Division EU. I am your host, Cookie B. Joining me on the desk are our analysts, Thibbledork and Beatdown Boulevard. Guys, this game is going to be between Undertake and Team Whisper. And to give a little bit of context on this, they both have the same records right now. They're both 2-0. Their SRs, relatively similar. Undertake is about 600 SR, roughly higher. But also, guys, both of these teams, the majority and the core of the team, have been together for a pretty decent amount of time. So, Beatdown Boulevard, I'd love to start with you and kind of get how you think all of these similarities are going to play into how these teams match up.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good match. Yeah, like you said, similar SRs. Both teams have been together for quite some time now. So that obviously means there's going to be a lot of team coordination. They're probably have strategy. So this should actually be a pretty close game so far. Both 2-0 as well.
And Thibble, how much do you think, so same question to you as well, but also how much do you think that about 600 is going to play into how these maps end up going out?
Well, I think it's going to make a big difference. I think in contrast to our first match of the day, where we had a team that was maybe a little more one-dimensional, both of these teams are going to have lots of cohesion, pull out a lot of set plays. The difference is going to be in mechanics. Aim, positioning, ult economy, like duress, how well they can handle pressure and everything like that. I think Undertake's going to have a little bit of an edge here. One, given their SR differential, and two, given their prior experience in amateur leagues. They are runners-up in the UGC League Season 4, and then are Season 3 Overwatch University League champions. So we're looking at a team here who is no stranger to competition, and I think that's going to be a big edge for them.
Yeah, of course. And I would love to see from both of you, Thibble, I'll start with you, players that you think we need to be keeping an eye on during this game.
Okay, I'll start with Undertake here because they're a team that interests me from what I've seen so far. I want to keep an eye on Dom, who, according to their own description, is the glue of the team. He runs main support, especially Lucio. I'm expecting, because it's open division and because it's popular right now, I'm expecting some GOATS comp. So I'm really expecting Dob to pull through here and run the show for Team Undertake.
And Beatdown, agree, disagree? We looking at Dom? Who are you thinking that we need?
Personally, I'm looking at Team Whisper here. They have their new main tank, Perplex. He's just joined this team recently. Getting a new main tank can be pretty difficult. I'm very curious to see how he will transition into this role, how well he's going to do with it.
I agree. No, definitely. Oddly enough, their previous MT newbie swapped to Widowmaker, and I think that's going to be interesting to see. I mean, obviously they're going to have to be confident in him if he swapped to Widowmaker. That's a pretty key role right now. So it'll be interesting to see the former main tank start clicking some heads. That's something I want to look at from Team Whisper.
All right. And one final thing, of course, guys, really, really quick. I want to get from both of you. Beatdown, I'll start. Who do you think is going to take this first map?
Ooh, okay. Straight out the gate, I'm gonna give it to Undertake. I think because oh, sorry.
No, go for it. Go for it.
No, I was just gonna say real quick because the overall I think they have more synergy, been together longer. Although I am curious on Perplex on the new main tank role. Being new is gonna have its struggle.
Thibble, really quick, who do you think is going to take map 1?
I got to agree. I think the overall cohesion from Undertake is going to take the day over Whisper here, especially with the mechanical advantage.
All right. Well, then we are going to get started, guys. I'm going to give it over to our two fantastic casters, which will be Beatdown Boulevard and Pausable. Guys, it's all you.
Thank you very much, Cookie. This is Pausable. I'm here with Beatdown. He's moved over from the desk and is ready to help me out cast a little bit. Now, you guys were talking a lot about these two teams and their matchups. I think one thing that I would like to say right out the gate is Team Whisper, according to their team doc here, they finished 7-3 last season of Open Division. And that's pretty impressive considering their SR average, right? So yeah. I'm interested to see how their team plays together.
Yeah, me as well. It's definitely a pretty good record. They just needed to win a few more games to make it to the next step. However, that wasn't the case for them. Now, probably this time around, they're definitely looking for a chance to go all the way.
They got that hunger, I'm betting.
Oh yeah.
I don't see why they wouldn't. They only needed, due to the format we have, generally the playoff teams are going to be 8-2 or 9-2 going into the playoffs. So hopefully they can secure those wins. This is going to be a big match for them. You can't drop too many matches, as I just said. Only really 2, maybe 3 if you're lucky. So the winner today is going to have a good chance of making it all the way. Seems like we're about to get started here. Now, what do we see coming out on both sides right now? Just in this prep phase, what do you think we'll see on Shrine here?
Well, so far we're seeing from Undertake, they have, well, actually it's a little early, but they have, classic Rhine. They have the May. I'm not sure if they're going to keep the Doomfist, but there's a lot of walls, could make a lot of use of the punch here, so definitely within the realm of possibility. Team Whisper, pretty standard composition. The Rhine Zarya, Hanzo Farah. They're going to keep the Zen and Mercy, despite how it isn't as strong as it used to be. So I think with the lack of hit scan on the side of Undertake, that Farah especially is going to.
I would have to agree, and it does look like we are going to get a very strange composition coming out here from Undertake, opting with Doomfist, and he's going to go down immediately. Newbie finds him just straight out the gate and finds another. What an incredible set, but Dob fires back onto him. The Pharah's gone right now, and this is a brawl on the point. The Maywall comes out, not quite able to separate the team as they were looking for, and it looks like I'm spacing on the team name. I can't believe this. It's
Undertake.
Undertake is gonna be pushed off the point.
Yes, that's right. And it looks like the Doomfist got wiped away immediately. They took this to heart and immediately swapped onto the Widowmaker. The hit scan, he really needs to, take the shots that he needs to get Newbie out of the fight here. And now they're just kind of poking and prodding onto the point.
Prodding onto the point. Well, Doomfist is going to run onto the point instead of prod, and he's going to get punished for it. Golden Eagle going down slowly afterwards. Verplex on the side of Team Whisper does go down, but it's not really mattering. Undertake just can't find a way to break into this.
No, they really can't here. They're kind of hugging to this Doomfist a little too long. They might want to consider something else, or at least, he needs to move with his team a little more. As you were saying before, he kind of runs in on his own and gets caught out for it. They got to be careful with like that.
Well, here comes an engage. They're a bit more grouped up this time. The Nano comes out onto the Zarya, trying to burst down the Zen, but it's actually 2 other players that are going to come out. A late grab onto that Transcendence. It's not, the barrage from Newbie's not quite able to make much, but it might be enough for them to stabilize here. Late Transcendence coming out from Dob. Not going to save his team, though. Once again, Undertake, they invest so many ults, but they're just not able to make much of it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. The Nano onto Magic Sushi was really good. It helped, on top of being high energy, it helped him build the grab much faster. But, not a lot of follow-up to that Graviton Surge. It was still at the end of, Dobbs' late Transcendence ended up being exactly what they needed. And now they're going into this last fight. No ults here, except for the Earth Shatter. And he needs to and Golden Eagle needs to go big.
Undoubtedly he does. The Doomfist did switch up to a Pharah, and the Earth Shatter gets completely blocked. That was their only chance of really pulling back in this fight. A Graviton's gonna pull them off the point as a Dragon cleans them up. Oh, just stragglers on the point now for Undertake, and it looks like the Team Whisper is gonna be holding this in a solid fashion as soon as they can clean up this pharmacy just standing on the point. They get the Mercy, the Fire throws out the Barrage. It's not gonna get him anything. Team Whisper takes the first round.
Definitely a valiant attempt. However, it was just not enough. A Far Mercy is not going to beat a Team 6. And yeah, it's first round. The first round, yes, is going to go to Whisper.
I think it was interesting the Doomfist pick. They were so committed to it that reminder, it was Yes that started out on that pick while May was on the, or I'm sorry, MJB was on the May. Whereas then, when Yes swapped to the Widow, they wanted the Doomfist so badly, MJB switched to the Doomfist, and it still didn't accomplish much.
Yeah,
they finally switched it off to a Pharah, but it was just a little too late.
Exactly, they cling to it too long. The Mei, now I think Undertake is running the comp properly. They needed a Lucio for the Mei, because the Mei needed to get into position quickly enough to set up the... They may have a better chance here. The Mei Reaper actually is a pretty common strat here on Nepal Village, and it could...
Well, Undertake has managed to set themselves up onto the point immediately here, but the poke-like composition coming out from Team Whisper might be enough, but it might not as their main tank goes down. That's going to make it hard for them to establish themselves on the point. They're pulling back a little bit, giving up first control. They don't want to run into this head first, but they're going to lose a bit of capture percentage.
Yeah, you definitely do want to be careful when facing comp. However, giving them first capture is really difficult. Now you have to fight onto the point, risk getting walled off and closed in with that Reaper, which is really dangerous here. They need to take advantage of Newbie on the Pharah. Newbie actually almost has the rocket barrage here too, so look out for that. That could be huge.
He might not get to use it though as this Coalescence comes out. That can be used to take out Pharahs, but it looks like it's just being thrown into the enemy team. Tries to get a little damage down onto Newbie, but most of the damage is going down onto Verplex. Gets destroyed on the point yet again. It doesn't seem like he's having the healing. Yes, just running through the lines of Team Whisper right now.
Yeah, roles completely reversed this time around. Undertake is just doing so well right now, and Yes has built up the Death Blossom. Actually, they're coming up on a few ultimates here, so this is looking pretty good. They're gonna need to build them fast though. Whisper has almost 5 ults. Graviton Surge coming out. We're probably gonna see a Dragon Strike combo soon.
Oh, but we're gonna see a combo maybe from the other side first. The counter barrage comes out, but it only manages to find the Reaper as they lose 2 on the side of Team Whisper. They're gonna have to go for the reset really early there.
See, that pick onto Yes would have been great if they didn't lose Verplex so quickly. If they had kept their main tank, that would have actually been a really good chance for a capture. However, it's not going to work out for them. And, you know, they won the fight. Not only did Undertake win the fight with 1 ult, they managed to draw an ult out of Whisper too. And, you know, that's caused Noob to swap here onto the Junkrat. Probably wants to try and break through this comp just with raw power.
Well, he's not going to be able to break through the wall really effectively. About 10% left here until they just secure it. The Death Blossom comes out. Not really managed to find anything, but it doesn't really need to, as 3 down already for the side of Team Whisper. They try and get on the point. Mercy's on it, but it's just the support straggling on the point here as a Reaper tears through him. Overtime ticks away, and it's going to be 1-1 here on Nepal.
Unbelievable. After really shaky first round, they're going to win the next one 100-0. So it looks like the Mei strategy is working a lot better for them. Probably wasn't the best comp to break out at the beginning of Shrine, but, you know, I guess they went for it. It didn't work. And now we're going to see how they fare in Nepal.
Now, how well do you think the Mei Reaper, if they stick with it, will work in here, in these in this large open area?
I don't think
that is this point.
I don't think it'll work at all, or it's very unlikely. It works so well on Village because you can literally wall off an entire side of the point with Mei wall. That doesn't work. And it looks like they know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they seem to agree. MJB has switched over onto the Hanzo. Double sniper coming out here for the side of Undertake. 1 sniper on the other side with a Pharah. That Pharah, it might come out a little risky here. It's going to have a lot of pressure from those snipers. Seems like Undertake not opting to go straight to point. They go around the side and they make good work of it. They find the sniper on the other side. They now have a lot of long distance pressure onto this shield from the side of Team Whisper. They try to establish on the point here, but they just can't make it on. Undertake has solid control, and they're going to take up progress first.
Yeah, really good hook combo there from Undertake. Managed to get Newbie, and because they didn't go for the Resurrect, there's really nothing they could have done here. Oh, we're going to see trades from both sides right now.
Right, but the trade on the side of Team Whisper is rezzed, and both snipers now down for the side of Undertake. Newbie finds them each, now has free reign to fire onto this point. Gonna make great work of it, taking out both supports. They're gonna flip the point. Team Whisper is now gonna start taking control.
Yeah, and now I know why they swapped him off of main tank. What a hard nerf that must have been. Oh well, on the Widowmaker now, and he's really just flipping the point. Those other snipers on Undertake really need to pick up the slack if they're gonna flip the point back. Newbie's watching.
Newbie's watching indeed. Yes, trying to find him on the other side. Mostly just focusing on the point, but the Pharah is going to pressure him out, going to make it difficult for him to lay down damage as his team comes in here. They are on the point, but there comes the pull onto the Orisa. Orisa goes down, but Newbie's down on the other side. Here comes a barrage, countered immediately by Yes. Yes is firing back, saying, look, Newbie, you may be able to find heads, but so can I. This might be a team win here, or a fight win here for the side of Undertake. They're certainly positioned to flip this point.
Yeah, definitely. Verplex tried to really take that last. There was only 3 members. He had the Mercy. Thought he could do something with the Newbie.
Oh my god, Newbie with the 3K just coming out of the doorway. His team's gonna rush in here, try and make something of this. It looks like they're gonna be able to do it too. Only 3 on the point, now 2 as the Lucio goes down. Far raining down that justice from above. And yet another quick flip back and forth here.
I'm just certain the snipers are trying to outdo each other. You're gonna get a 2 kill. I'm gonna get a 3 kill. And now we're just gonna see how Yes responds. They have the balls here from Newbie, and it's 61%. They're making their way to the end here.
They're certainly poised to be able to take this. And it doesn't look, especially now that Yes is down, it doesn't look like Undertake are very comfortable trying to break back onto this. They're sort of just poking in. MJP finds a beautiful shot onto Newbie and the Pharah. This is going to open it up so much, especially as the Coalescence comes out. And the Transcendence to try and stall it out a little bit gets halted, but it's going to be a clean sweep onto Team Whisper from Undertake. They're flipping it back yet again.
That's right. Not sure about the Transcendence. Oh, it looks like he was doing it because he wanted to make the swap. Now they have the Lucio. They want to just move into the point faster. However, another halt hook is going to come out and nuke down.
That's going to stall them out here. Going to build some great capture percentage, which they desperately needed. They need to make up that deficit. They're fighting in this tight chokehold to try and do so. The res comes up as a dragon comes out, actually. Finds the Mercy. What a huge pick here from NJP. Just gonna make it really hard for them to break in, especially as the Widow goes down. This fight is going on, but it's basically over at this point.
Definitely. Some closing kills here from Yes, and this isn't looking too good. They have no ults here from the side of Whisper. I think they kind of want to consider swapping off the Pharah. This whole round, I think he's only just now building up to a rocket cross. So much
I believe he had one earlier, but still, with the amount of snipers on the enemy team, you'd think he would have switched off it earlier.
Yeah,
Ball's now out for the side of Undertake. This is a great position for them to be in. Team Whisper, they're going to try and run here out onto the point, but they lose 2 doing so. The sound barrier comes out from Undertake, and they're just going to look to clean this up. Stragglers on the point here for the side of Team Whisper. Just the tanks. Ults come out, but it's just not going to be enough. They don't have any heals other than the Mercy staying in the air. Can't really do anything. Pistol comes out onto the point, but that's going to be it. Undertaker going to take Nepal.
Yeah, what a close map that was, especially this last round. One will capture, then it'll flip again. You know, so far a really good showing here.
Play of the game.
Oh, undoubtedly. And MJB certainly deserves that play of the game. The snipers on both sides were just absolutely relentless. What a shot there onto Newbie. Wow.
Oh my god, MJB just having none of it. You know, really good team swaps and team coordination. You know, like, although the first round was a little shaky for Undertake, they were adapting much faster, with the exception of clinging to that bar pick. Yeah, sometimes they like to just stick to a DPS and they're not sure about changing it. But I think if they could just get their swaps down just a little bit better, I think they can actually get some wins here.
I would definitely agree with that. Now, what map do you think Team Whisper is going to take us to so that they can try and get that 1-1 scoreline going?
Yeah, it's hard to say right now. Actually, we don't even have to guess. It looks like they're asking for Rialto, which makes a lot of sense because it's a pretty sniper-favored map for at least the first 2 points. And because the first point is notoriously difficult to get through, you definitely want some high burst impact characters to actually get you through.
That certainly makes sense to me. We do also see a lot of tank play coming out. Reinhardt shields do make snipers a little bit inadequate, so we'll see if we get that going here. Didn't see much in the way of Reinhardt play, or big Reinhardt plays this round. A lot of those shadows got blocked when the Reinhardts came out on Shrine. And not many grandiose shatters or blocks coming out on Village. It was pretty one-sided in the favor of Undertake. So I'm interesting to see that, or I'm hoping we get to see that main tank level of play escalate a bit, as it's so necessary in this meta.
Oh, I agree. I'm sure everybody loves the big shatters, but we still have a chance to see them. I think they were just really good at blocking them in the last round, so I wouldn't worry too much.
I'd agree. We do have a small break here, guys, so we're just gonna keep going on here. Now, Rialto, I believe it was Cookie that was telling me this during the last game, actually. Jeff Kaplan himself actually said that they're looking at reworks for this map because apparently it is heavily defensively favored. Offense only makes it to the all the way through about 42-ish% of the time. So
Yeah.
it's a very volatile map, and it's very new as well. The meta is still stabilizing quite a bit. We see a lot of variable comps.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the case. You've seen it in pretty much every level of play, even up into like one of the higher levels of play. It's so difficult to get through the first and the last point. You'll see a team roll all the way till the end, like just completely and utterly dominate them. And on that third point, they'll just get stuck. They'll just hit a wall that you can't get through. So yeah, it's good that Blizzard's aware of it and they're working on it. So for now, we just gotta do the best we can.
Well, and we also see crazy holds at the first point, right? Just in that last match, and also a lot at the World Cup, we saw some aggressive defenses coming out, basically spawn camping on the first fight. Just and it works, is the crazy thing, right? Like, you would never think about that on Gibraltar, our other escort map. It just doesn't work out because of the open area and the nature of the map. But we are gonna head into game here. And as we do, what do you want to see from Team Whisper here on this first point to make sure they don't get held?
Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna put newbie on sniper. Widowmaker, it's definitely a very common, it's a very good defensive strategy, you know, and there are a lot of angles Widowmaker can take with long sight lines, so she can take it from a long distance, I should say. So it is ideal, and Newbie has proven himself quite proficient, so, I mean, why not, right?
Hey, makes sense to me. If you can click 4 heads in a row on a Widowmaker, I don't know why you'd ever switch off of it. She's such a powerful hero with that that high burst onto those squishy targets, and onto tanks as well.
Honestly, one full charge shot, that's half a Roadhog's HP, and he has the most HP of all tanks. That says something. But yeah, we're gonna see Yes also play Widowmaker again. MGB back on the projectile, playing the Pharah's pretty good here. There are definitely some architecture that Pharah can make use of, but still double sniper out of Whisper, so you got to be careful.
Now, do you think we're gonna see this Orisa Hammond coming from Whisper, or do you expect this to be changed up a bit?
I really hope that's going to be changed up, because that doesn't really make much sense. Hammond is so mobile, and Orisa is literally the polar opposite. She is the anchor. She picks the spot, and that is her spot. She's not moving. So I'm not quite sure what they'll do with that.
Maybe the line of thing. Oh nope, it's switched over onto the Zarya. So Verplex is also probably switching on to the Reinhardt, if I had to guess here. It's certainly what we see a lot of the time on the first point, although it doesn't look like he's going to. No, yeah, he's coming out of the gate on that Orisa.
Yeah, it looks like that's the mountain they're gonna die on. A little strange. I don't think Orisa works with Reinhardt as well as... Sorry, I don't think Orisa works as well as Rein, pairing with Zarya, but they might have some
shield placement onto the cart, though. An interesting adaptation coming out here. It's a very nice coverage angles here, and with the rate they're moving the payload, the shield uptime is pretty consistent. Though they're gonna struggle with it a little bit here. This is I think where this comp is going to struggle pushing through here. This choke is so good for a Reinhardt and so bad for an Orisa, especially as your team falls around you. Picks coming down, and Yes finding 2, 3 down for the side of Whisper. They're gonna have to reset here.
Yeah, it's really difficult to run against the Rein, because all the Rein has to do is, when he gets the Earth Shatter, is pass you and just press Q. And at 85%, he's definitely gonna get it. Looks like We're having
Looks
a
like we have a quick pause here, guys. Not sure what the reason is, but I'm sure it'll be fixed in just one moment. While this is going on, I'd like to. Oh, it appears we have a player who has disconnected.
Yeah,
Well,
they have a few minutes to come back, so
That happens. They have more than enough time. Hopefully, they'll get back in here. But I still can't wrap my head around the Orisa pick. It started off well. They got out of the spawn really well, but once they got to that corner, they got choked up at the choke. And it sets the Zarya back as well with that shield that you can't put down. It's hard to get those bubbles up to gain charge, and we see that on the screen right now. Perfect Storm on the side of Team Whisper only sitting at about 28% toward that Graviton. On the other side, Magic Sushi 53%, double the percentage nearly. And Graviton is such a hugely impactful ult. This is gonna set Whisper back quite a bit.
yeah, definitely. I think now, yeah, we see Verplex actually has made the swap on the line, realized that, the Zarya Orisa synergy it doesn't work. You need that moving constant shield, and, you need to be able to move a little quicker to absorb damage for the Zarya, protect your squishies, things like that. A lot of ways that the Reinhardt just works better. So now they're going to swap, but at a bit of an ult disadvantage, because now the first fight went on. Verplex is at 1%. Golden Eagle is at 86%.
Yeah, the only alt percentage they're leading in is that Mercy. Team Whisper has it at 71%, but it's only about a 20% advantage, and that's the only one they get. Otherwise, across the board, they are looking at a hard deficit. Unfortunately, Yes's alt percentage is going to reset here on that disconnect. So if he comes back in on that Widowmaker, he is also going to be running a bit behind Newbie. I'm sure he can make it up, though. We're going to find out. We're going back into the game.
Yes, we are. Yes. Actually, I think the big thing now will be if Yes can get back on time for them to keep defending here. And it looks like Whisper's just going to move in anyway.
Yeah, Whisper, they know that Yes isn't going to be there. They're going to take advantage of it. And Newbie is going to find a pick onto the Mercy. Undertake just has to backpedal now as they don't want to get staggered here, but they can't give up this corner. It is such a good defensive choke point. They're going to invest the nano, and it might pay off. They take out 2. They lose their supports, but they might actually manage to stabilize here. Maybe not, though. The res comes out onto the Zarya. They still have both their tanks, and it looks like Team Whisper is going to manage to push this payload.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be the case here, but the fight started going into their favor. The benefit of running double main heal is that if you won, you can kind of commit to this fight still. That's why they threw the nano, but it didn't work. We're actually going to see the grab come out here now.
We're seeing a lot of ults come out. It's Alt City right now, and it looks like both teams are going to be able to find some picks. We'll see who's able to stay on the cart, though. It's very close to that first A checkpoint. Magic Sushi trying to contest it, but he doesn't have much assistance. He does manage to melee down Verplex's Reinhardt, which does immediately get rezzed. But Undertake, they're not giving up here. They're trying to stall this out as long as they can, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. They don't have a whole lot going on in the way of healing on the point. The Shatter comes out from Verplex, manages to find one, but he gets slept right afterwards. Beautiful Sleep Dart coming out from MF. And it looks like a counter Shatter coming out, and it looks like Undertake, despite that chaos, is going to reestablish themselves on the point.
I can't believe this. What a clutch Sleep Dart from MF. He gets the Reinhardt who got the Shatter. Nobody else can do anything. The Widow couldn't take the shot because he's behind the payload, and as soon as he gets up, Golden Eagle has a Shatter of his own, and this just immediately, with the Nano Boost, takes the win for them. Still now, going into this next fight, all they really have is hopefully Magic Sushi's Graviton. That's still undetermined. It's still
a ways away, and we have 3 ults. The Valkyrie gets popped, and there's the Graviton. Only manages to find Golden Eagle, but that could be enough. We'll see if they're able to capitalize off this. They can't lose anyone else here, and they do. They lose Scribble. He was only 10% away from that Transcendence, and it looks like they're just not able to find it. They lose too many players here. They're trying to stabilize on this point, Team Whisper. They actually are able to. They're getting a lot of picks here. The Brawl comes out, and because Undertake didn't have that main tank, it looks like it was going so well for them, but it's so back and forth. Team Whisper, they're pushing it so close. Less than 10 seconds now. Undertake comes back in with full force here. There's not really a spawn advantage for either side at this point. It's a little in favor of Undertake, but they're not able to do anything. The payload gets through. Team Whisper's able to get that point A.
My God, that was so close. I actually couldn't tell who's in that. Man, good place from Undertake here. Really they're managing to make it work, especially MF on fire, well deserved. He's pumping out so much heals, managing to dodge the DPS too. Really good place from him. Now, in this next fight, Magic Sushi has the Graviton Surge. Keep an eye on that. However, Perplex and Perfect Storm for the side of Whisper have their ults, so we gotta be careful of that.
There's that Graviton Surge from Magic Sushi. Managed to get the Mercy in it, but there's no follow-up on the other side, however. Perfect Storm manages to find 4, 3 of which will go down immediately. Oh, man. What a beautiful combo, beautiful combo there from Team Whisper.
Yeah, definitely a beautiful combo here, and now it's starting to seem more clear that Undertake should probably make some kind of hero swap to deal with the Tracer. You know, Liam's kind of just doing whatever he wants here, building plus behind. It looks like MJB red my.
Tracer can't kill you if you shoot her in the head. And it looks like they know that. The big shatter comes out here from Golden Eagle. Manages to find 3. What a quick, decisive cleanup from Undertake.
Yeah, very much so. So quick that they only needed the Earth Shatter to win it. Now they still have 2 ults almost, and wow, MGB almost already has the Dragon Strike too, which is really big. I don't know if they're gonna wait to combo it. It might come out soon.
50 seconds remaining. They might not be able to wait for the Graviton. Magic Sushi's only about halfway there as Team Whisper pushes back to try and take this point, push it. They only have a little ways to go. Yes, going down almost immediately in this team fight. That's going to give Newbie a lot of room to work with. Transcendence coming out here, but there's the Nano onto the tanks. Oh, they barely managed to stay alive on the side of Team Whisper. What beautiful play. Newbie finding both snipers yet again. What a crazy Widowmaker. The Shatter comes out from Golden Eagle, not really able to find anything. I think this is going to be a reset here for Undertake.
Definitely. It was a pretty good fight, but there was nothing they really could have done about it. Now it looks like they're managing to deal with Liam, who actually unfortunately wasted it. Still, now they're in this last corner here, and Team Whisper has a few ultimates still, and they're about to come up on the walls out for Yes on Whisper, so now they have to be really careful. They know where they are, and Yes could land some really good shots. And on top of that, Undertake has the grab strike combo.
It may have been Yes with the walls, but it's Newbie with the kill. He pulls the walls out right afterwards. This is going to give them a huge advantage, Team Whisper. Both Gravitons coming out, but only one side has a dragon finding 3. Oh man, but there's only one player from each on the point here. Golden Eagle doesn't have any health. Despite the huge dragon, it's actually going to be Team Whisper taking it and pushing the payload.
But still, spawn advantage is definitely in Undertake's favor. They're going to get back to the point faster. And Yes is just going to flip it back by killing Newbie too. So I think they're actually going to stabilize.
They are. They only give up a bit of control on that payload, only a few meters. 30 seconds remaining, and despite everything, Undertake has managed to get some brilliant hold here. At best, this is probably going to be captured in overtime, and that's if Team Whisper are lucky. They don't have a whole lot of ults to work with, and now they definitely don't. Scribble was only 20% away from that Transcendence, and he goes down.
Yeah, that was definitely crucial here.
Bomb comes out, it finds MJP! Oh, what a beautiful, beautiful pulse bomb from Liam. That's gonna give Team Whisper all the chance they need. Verplex goes in, but he gets charged away. Golden Eagle with the Nano and the Shatter, finding 2. Oh, that might be it. Golden Eagle might have pulled this back single-handedly with help from a Nano. Stragglers here on the point. The Graviton comes out. It's kind of desperate here. It only managed to find Golden Eagle. That's going to be it. No one else is going to be able to touch. And Undertake's going to hold.
Man, what a good play here from Golden Eagle. Gets nanoed, immediately gets the kill onto Ryan. So that's it. He knows nobody can block his Shatter. And he got a big one too.
Undoubtedly. Those are the juicy main tank plays I was hoping we were going to get on this map.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you happy now?
I am. As a main tank player myself, I am happy. I can die content now.
Oh, you can't die yet. This game isn't over.
This game is too good for me to call it quits now.
Right.
Such a close match, regardless of everything.
Yeah, it is, and honestly, it's still not guaranteed that Undertake could actually is gonna take this. There's a good chance Team Whisper could just hold it even sooner. Who knows, really?
Oh, undoubtedly. With the amount of point A holds we see on Rialto, that was a very, very strong push coming out from Whisper. Yeah. And I think defensively, this map's going to favor them as well. It's much easier for the Widow on defense to get set up, generally speaking. It's a little tricky on point A for this map, but point B is where you're going to see that really take off for Newbie.
Yeah, I agree. I think if Undertake wants to get past this, I mean, if they want to stick to the Pharah, fine, but like, you really got to hug the walls, and you got to dive onto Newbie when he's expecting it. I think that's how they're gonna. I think that's how they're gonna do it here. Newbie. MJB. Sorry.
MJB's definitely gonna have to play line of sight correctly, is what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And Newbie, I think it's only been like, this is only the second map, but I do want to say I think Newbie's better Widowmaker here. You kind of gotta outplay him, because you're not gonna out mechanic him.
I definitely agree with that. You need something to go up and contest. Not sure the Pharah is gonna be able to do that. Liam on the other side, though, with a Tracer, might be able to apply some pressure to Undertake's Widowmaker. We'll see how he ends up playing here. He does manage to pressure him down a little bit. The healing is there on the Yes. Undertake now trying to round this corner. Team Whisper's being pretty conservative here. They don't want to just charge in, go for the huge heavy brawl right out of spawn like we've seen, but that may come to bite them. Yes finds Liam. That is a man advantage on the point here. And it looks like Undertake's going to capitalize. This is when they choose to get aggressive, and it's going to pay off. They clean up Team Whisper.
Not only a man advantage, Liam died in the spot that he could not be rezzed at. There was no way the Mercy could come around. And after so many kills, all they can hope to do is reset and pray they make it back in time. It looks like they might go.
Maybe, maybe not. They're certainly going to try to. They'll get one more solid fight. Oh, but the boop onto both tanks! MJB, what a clutch concussive rifle! Oh, Team Whisper's just gonna go for the reset now. They might as well.
They definitely might as well, and that's gonna be a quick capture. Wow, Streets face with 5 minutes. That's a statement.
That is quite the time bank, and it looks like Undertake's gonna get pretty aggressive here. That might come to bite him. They were looking to capitalize on the forward spawn from Team Whisper, but they lose their Widowmaker, and they're gonna have to back up and wait for their full team.
Yeah, definitely a well-deserved punish. Yes, way too aggressive, out in front of the tanks. Like, what do you think's gonna happen, man? But still, in the next fight, Undertake's doing fine. They have almost 4 ultimates here, and there's not a whole lot from Whisper. Certainly. They want to swap to the Orisa Hog combo. Probably want to just anchor down and have a more solid defense. Right now they were struggling.
Yeah, they need to plant their foot down, and there's nothing better for an Orisa than that. But you can't really plant your foot down when you're getting sucked into a grav. The Transcendence comes out to keep him alive, but Verplex goes down anyways. Another huge shatter. Maybe not that huge, actually, as Scribble maybe gets stunned, but doesn't get taken out. His Golden Eagles team wasn't in position to really capitalize on that. And now Team Whisper is going to use this chance to try and re-establish. The Transcendence comes out, though, from Undertake. They're not giving up. MF deciding that they want to stay in this fight. Dob manages to find Scribble on the other side. The Battle Mercy coming out. And it's that pick that's going to enable them to get real aggressive and push really hard on this second point.
Yeah, you know, push maybe a little too hard. I don't think Magic Sushi needed to use the Graviton Surge. That could have been very useful going into this next fight, especially because Whisper has 3 ults on the other side here, almost 4. Liam with the Dragon Blade is probably going to come out huge. They need to be careful, and MF actually used the trance in the last fight, so they won't have a response.
Yes, Liam's definitely going to have some good, he's going to have some good positioning, rather. But again, Scribble getting found so early. He gets taken out so early with so many of these fights. The Dragon Blade comes out. Let's see if he can find anything. Sort of just getting led around and taken out by Yes. Blade gets nothing, and that was really their win condition for this map here. Undertake now, they're just going to play it slow. They know they don't have to rush into this.
Yeah,
They've got the advantage.
they do. They got so much time in the bank. They could draw some ults if they want to, but no, they actually look like they're going.
Yeah, they're going to run in here, but it's Yes that's going to get punished once again from Newbie. So consistent on this Widowmaker, so consistent enough. He's moved up onto this bridge and found the Mercy just uncontested on that high ground there. He's going to pretty much single-handedly save Whisper's chance of holding this point.
Yeah, he's definitely the guy you want to protect if the team is losing in a fight, and he's definitely has walls, probably looking to use it. Oh, but yes.
He gets, yeah, the res is there.
Yeah. Still, now they won't have it for the next fight. But oh, yes, gets him again. When I kill you, you stay dead, is what he says.
And we might see a lot of players staying dead here. There goes the Dragon. The Bio Grenade onto Verplex, making so that Transcendence from Scribble was useless. The hammer comes down, but it's the Sleep Dart that dooms Quite. That's going to be it. And Undertake is going to take map 2 as well.
Yeah, really much stronger showing this time around. They held them. Actually, they still almost got taken all the way, but they managed to hold out in the end and very convincingly took the 2 points.
What a beautiful boop on that play of the game. Well deserved. MJB with 2 play of the games in a row. Unsurprisingly, he has been very good on these clutch heroes. But with that, we're going to go to halftime. Let's throw it back on over to the desk.
Thanks so much, guys. That was a great time. That boop was amazing, was it not? Watching fly off that bridge. Of course, I'm your host, Cookie B, and we are joined by Analysts Beatdown Boulevard, who absolutely killed it as a caster, and Thibble Dork. Good to be with you guys. So what did you think? Let's go to map 1. We had Nepal. Undertake, of course, took that. We had some really dominant play. We had map 1 for Shrine and Village decisively, 100% for both teams, and then some competition in the third. Thibble, what did you think?
I think it was very interesting that we saw that kind of flip in either way. And I think the key change was pulling out that like weird Dallas Fuel-y, like May Reaper Goats hybrid on Village. It really threw Team Whisper off entirely because their entire strategy centered around a Pharah. But when you're fighting on the point with lots of cover and walling off the point at the same time, the Pharah might as well not exist. And then you're fighting at a man disadvantage. And then you lose. And that's what happened. So I think it was really interesting, that on-the-fly adaptation and being able to pull that strategy out, which makes sense given their cohesion and time spent together, like I mentioned when we first started this matchup. I think ultimately the reason Undertake was able to then continue to bring it back was just due to their sheer mechanical skill. There's lots of good snipers on both of these teams, but Undertake was running double sniper, and that means there's twice as many snipers. If you do the math there, easy to see why they're winning right now.
Beatdown, do you share that same opinion? What do you think about, again, the 100-0 on both of those first 2, and then the very much so a back and forth to end Nepal?
I mostly agree. I think the May Reaper strat is very good on the Village. I don't know why they brought it out at Shrine, and as we can see, it didn't work. But I think part of it was that Whisper kind of let them do it. There were enough times where it's like, hey, the May wall is coming out, and one person will just walk out like 10 feet in front of the rest of their team. And that's something you need to be careful of when they have a May, because that's not how you want to play against a May. People were getting singled out and walled out constantly. And I think that's why they lost so dominantly.
So I do want to move on to the next map, but one more question for the both of you. I would love to see both of your opinions again on Sanctum. Do you think that Team Whisper not changing off Pharah for so long cost them that map?
Yes. I 100% believe that. Although MJB has been playing very well since then, on that map, it was very clear early on that it wasn't working. It was literally just the sniper with him that was doing a lot of the work, because he was a ghost. Didn't see him in the kill feed, got maybe one ultimate. So, that's when like this isn't working. Something else.
Right. All right, let's move on to Rialto, of course. First thing I want to talk about, that DC right there at the beginning when Undertake was defending, beat down, and actually Fibble for both of you. How much do you think that impacted their mentality and their performance, kind of getting back into the groove when you're losing ult charge, you're losing your sniper? Clearly, Team Whisper really took advantage of that.
I mean, I don't think it mattered actually, because that was when Undertake did that miraculous consecutive like 3 or 4 fight hold onto that first point where you thought they were going to lose it, but they didn't. You thought they were going to lose it, they didn't. And like maybe the 3rd or 4th time you're like, oh. But yeah, I don't think that DC really mattered at all.
I was a little worried about it, but I kind of have to agree. Initially, it looked kind of bad because, he's got to run all the way back from spawn and everything. The big thing with that fight and the reason why they were able to gain just a little ground after it was because they pushed up aggressively and they picked Dob on the Mercy. He went down very early, excuse me, before Yes even got back to the fight. So if he had been there, what is he going to do, really? But then they managed to rally pretty well and then hold it regardless. So it was clear that they maintained their composure despite losing him. He came back. Losing his ult is not a huge deal. Like, yeah, it's great to have, but it's not like a transcendence or something, So
Right.
I think ultimately them being able to come back from that was fine. They did fine there.
Right. And 30,000 foot view looking down at this map, of course, really seems like Newbie on Widowmaker dominated the double snipe composition on the other team. But I'd love to hear from both of you guys. Beatdown, just looking at that, how do you think it all played out and ended up, of course, in Undertake's favor?
I think Undertake just, they played their sniper comp really well. You got to give props to MF there on the support. Not only would he just keep his team up so well despite really dire circumstances, doing so allowed him to build up so many nano boosts. I was trying to count, but I actually lost track. And they were so clutch in winning out fights. And, him nanoing Golden Eagle and Golden Eagle playing with it so well was, I think, really key in their defense.
Awesome. And I think we're almost ready. So, Thibble, I'm going to give you the last word, first 2 maps that we saw.
I think it's very interesting to notice that Newbie played Sniper alone and played a very lone wolf, aggressive flank, click the heads, get a triple, like decide fights, kind of like a Carpe thing going on was what he was doing. But ultimately, I think the double sniper from Undertake was just more consistent. And even when both snipers went down, which happened a couple times early on in certain fights, the tank line stepped up for Undertake when they needed to and won the fight. So ultimately, I think Undertake's just got a little bit of an edge here. Newbie mechanically is winning these fights, even on his own, which is impressive. But I think the team backing up the double sniper for Undertake is what's going to take this home for them.
Awesome. And our casters are ready to take you into the 3rd map. So we're going to hand it over to them. Beatdown Boulevard, Pausable, take it away. It's all you guys.
Thanks so much, Cookie. And we are going to go straight into Horizon here, folks. Beatdown Boulevard will be joining me, Pausable, here. We will be your casters for this map. And Beatdown, what do you want to see on Horizon from Team Whisper to try and pull this back, try and stay alive in this series?
I think Team Whisper just needs to coordinate a little. I think mid-fight they tend to fall apart, and that's a bit of a struggle for them. I think they just need to play around the snipers just a little bit more because, man, they're good. So I think just, keep it simple, keep it tightly knit, and I'm sure they have a good chance.
And agreed. KISS, keep it simple. I forget what the other S is.
Me too.
Whatever. But you can certainly see with the sniper dominance you were talking about, why Newbie switched off that main tank. He was originally main tank player for this team, and now he's just, it seems like their dedicated Widowmaker player, and his mechanical skill is honestly unquestionable.
No, it definitely is. It's literally the equivalent of moving the weights. He was shackled to main tank and no more. Now he's ready to play.
Oh, I love that. All right. Well, what do we see on defense right now? Anything out of the ordinary? Looks like double sniper.
Very standard, almost last meta standard. Again, as I mentioned before, we have actually looks like
we'll have a short
right now.
Pause.
There probably some technical. They'll fix it. But like I was saying, yeah, almost the last meta pick. Double sniper. Orisa Hog, but the Lucio, sorry, not Lucio, Zen is what like is really on. Has me thinking here. Again, not as strong support duo as it used to be. You don't, but it can be really taken advantage of. But it doesn't look like Undertake's actually going to go for that, so it could still work out for them. They just need to, round snipers.
Undoubtedly. Well, like you were all saying on the desk, now the side of Team Whisper does have both those snipers coming in, so it is going to enable Newbie to have to carry it less on his own. It looks like Undertake, they're going to try and rotate around the left side. They go straight onto the point. Team Whisper trying to circle back around, but Newbie, keeping his eyes in the right place, finds yes. He knows he's going to be playing from that high ground over there, and now he's got a lot of room to work with. It may be Undertake on the point, but not for long. There goes their main tank, and they're going to get cleaned up here despite the fact that they still have a few left.
Yeah, they did manage to get some closing kills here, but it doesn't gonna matter. Really great rotation here from Whisper, and as the Resurrect is gonna render that moot next fight, they're looking pretty good right now.
And I'd just like to say, what beautiful timing coming out here from Team Whisper. They get onto that point to contest maybe a 0.1% before a tick gets gained. Just such great awareness in the speed of their composition. Let's hope they have that again. Undertake coming in now. They opt to go the other way, straight underneath them. It does make it a little bit for the snipers to lay down damage, but Newbie is just on. Yes, he is not letting him do anything this match. He is just keeping his eyes in the right place, but let's see if his team can do the same thing. It is Golden Eagle that's able to find the first pick on to Liam here. Verplex going down right afterwards. This might be Undertake breaking through. They do have a full team on the point. The Res trying to come out from quite, he's not quite able to find it, and Team Whisper's getting cleaned up.
Yeah, really good play there. It was such a good Graviton Surge and an even better pin from taking out the Hanzo, their main DPS dealer, and then on top of that, Verplex going after is definitely. They're gonna probably try to ride this momentum here. Liam's gonna swap.
They certainly are. An aggressive charge through the top right high ground. The Transcendence comes out to try and keep Team Whisper alive in this tight little corridor. They managed to fire one back off onto the Reinhardt thanks to the switch coming out from Liam onto the Reaper. They seemingly managed to push Undertake out here, although that might open it up for him. The 2K Diva Bomb coming out onto both tanks from Whisper. They're not really charging back in fast enough though. They're gonna opt to go for the reset anyways.
No, they were down, so there's really not a fight you want to take. It's too bad. That was such a good kill and the chance that they needed, but they knew if they grinded it out, it would fit, so I think it was a smart call. Into this next fight now, Plex has actually, he's had it for quite some time. He has Supercharger. Liam, upon just switching, already has the Death Blossom. They really need to be careful.
And if he gets the correct positioning set up here, this Death Blossom could be devastating. He's coming around behind them. Let's see if he can manage to make this work. He's 2% away from it. His teammate Newbie goes down under the doofus, but a huge Death Blossom into the backline. Manages to find two, but the rest of his team goes down. He doesn't have any support here. Oh no, what a beautiful Death Blossom, but there's 3 on the point. 1 tick goes away. Team Whisper's gonna have to try and rush back on. There's the second tick. The emergency Doomfist comes out, but gets destroyed instantly. Wrecking Ball established on the point. He's gonna roll around here and just try and avoid damage as his team comes back in. It is Team Whisper that has spawn advantage here, but they're lacking in manpower right now. Although they are firing back a little bit onto the Lucio, but they're still not managing to find more kills. They're managing to stall, however, as they still have 3 onto the point. The Valkyrie wearing off from quite, gonna make it a bit difficult, but they might actually manage to stabilize here. It looks like they will.
Yeah, it is, and I think a lot of that can be chalked to the fact that Undertake, when the Wrecking Ball got onto the point, they started to give up their point presence, and I think that was a mistake. They were still up mans in the man department, but they just, they backed off. And it gave just enough time for Whispers, like the rest of Whisper's team, to come back onto the point, and because of that, the kills started rolling in their favor. You really got to keep an eye on the Doomfist, otherwise he's just going to kill your team. And now he even has the Meteor Strike to show for it.
But that Meteor Strike is gonna have to be a big one, though. There comes the Grab Dragon combo, although the Transcendence is there to counter it. Beautiful timing from Scribble. He knew he needed that. It seems like Magic Sushi has unfortunately blown himself up here. The rest of his team struggling onto this point. They're losing more than they're winning, and with the spawn advantage in the favor of Team Whisper, it looks like they're gonna be able to hold.
They are. I really hope Dob is stopping because that sound barrier was not a good idea. You were down 2, you were down 3, and you committed a whole ult to that. It's not good. They're not gonna have that in the fight. Hopefully, they're gonna have to rely on MF, who has Nano Boost, to really make something of it. Maybe boost Golden Eagle like he's been doing before.
That'll probably go down onto the Reinhardt. I would imagine as a distraction for Yes's Deadeye. Hopefully he can get in a nice position to do it if if Undertake wants to have any sort of chance here. They run straight onto the point, Undertake, but they lose their Ana and their Reinhardt in the process. Oh, they're already gonna have to back up here. They're not making enough of this. They go for the reset.
Yep, Newbie once again flexing his mechanical skill. Hey guys, just in case you you didn't remember, I can click your head.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if he's on a hit scan or a Hanzo. Heads are no match for his clicking.
He literally just killed MF again.
Yeah.
God.
What a beautiful stagger and a beautiful display of that mechanical skill.
Yeah, it is. And now Whisper still, they got some ultimates too. Next fight they have Liam has another Death Blossom, has another whole hog. So
that whole hog could be crucial here. It could keep them out as they come through this doorway. He's gonna opt to not use it quite yet, and he does unfortunately get line of sight blocked onto his pull. There comes the whole hog though. He cleans up 2, but the Deadeye cleans up 3! 3 on the point here, and they only needed a tick, so Undertake is gonna secure it.
Oh, that Nano Boost was so smart too from MF. As soon as you hear the voice line from Deadeye, you immediately turn and try to kill him, but that damage reduction kept him up, kept him alive, and, you know, with no shield tank, that's 3. All they needed was a tick.
Really goes to show the importance of every single tick there. Had Team Whisper managed to hold out earlier, they might have been able to reestablish there, but they gave up too much earlier and were punished for it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's just how it goes sometimes. But still, 1 minute.
Undoubtedly.
1 minute isn't too much of a time bank.
They had all things considered, they had a very good defense.
Yeah.
On that second point.
Yeah, and you know they could just go on to capture a better time bank, similar time bank, and force overtime rounds. But you know it's just as likely that actually hold.
It is, but it looks like Team Whisper here is going for the 3-3 support 3 tank goats composition coined after the popular Contenders team that sort of brought it into the meta. This is sort of a comfort pick for a lot of teams in this meta. It's very safe, very brawly, chaotic, but stable in its own right. You have a lot of healing, a lot of group up. It's actually not quite Oh, were they open division? That is my bad. But it's actually not quite going to be goats anyways. They're opting for the Roadhog instead of what you usually see, which is a Diva. We'll see if this pays off for him.
It's not something I want to run. You know, the defense matrix is so strong. I think I'm not exactly sure where. I guess they want to kind of just catch somebody out of position, land the hook. Been landing a lot of those kinds of hooks. So,
well, there's that hook, but it's onto the Diva. Diva just boosts away from that. Not really too worried about it. As Team Whisper goes onto the point here, they are going to get contested by that Diva of Magic Sushi, taking a lot of damage, but able to find his way back. 1 tick already secured, though, for Team Whisper. 2 ticks in. What's Undertake waiting for? They have to get on here. Now they sort of just throw themselves onto the point, losing their Zenyatta immediately. Not really able to establish. A dragon comes out, but it's too late. They've lost too many people. They're going to lose point A.
Yeah, they are. it's very strange when you run the Orisa D.Va in such a way. It's usually because you want to, you know, move in and out of the point while the rest of you contest the high ground. Point capture. You know, they didn't do that. They let 2 ticks go, and they ended up losing the rest of jumping in half-heartedly.
They might get punished for it right here. Already 1 tick on point B. Team Whisper looking to steamroll, and that is exactly what they're doing. They take out 2. The Zenyatta going down a bit away. What a huge restabilize from Magic Sushi. A 3K D.Va bomb. That's going to bring his team back into the fold, especially considering they have spawn advantage. Wow.
Insane. I was quite literally a second away saying, oh, Team Whisper is going to win this with a big time bank.
I thought they had it.
Yeah, Magic Sushi's having none of that. And it's great, like I was saying before, great to win a fight with 1 ult. MJB about to have MF has the Valkyrie as well. So unless Newbie can come big here.
It's going to be MJB who's coming big, though, finding both supports. That basically ends this push before it even begins. You know, you can try and stay in this, and it looks like Team Whisper, against the better judgment, are going to. They traded a few, so they want to try and see if they can get a tick here. But they're, oh, well, they do manage to find the Reinhardt, despite the spawn advantage not being in their favor. The sound barrier comes out to keep them alive on this point. Even though they were down a few, they're actually managing to restabilize. The meteor strike comes out, managed to find 1, but I don't think it's going to be enough here. So many on the point. They're managing to get that progress ticking up. The shatter from Golden Eagle doesn't manage to find anything. It's going to be hard to reestablish with all these ults coming out. What a huge time bank here for Team Whisper to work with as we go into the time bank rounds.
Yeah, well, some really good play here out from Whispers. That, especially that clutch rocket barrage gets both supports. I mean, what are you gonna do then?
Yeah, not much, evidently. Got a feel for MJB and Magic Sushi with these huge ultimates on their team, and they still managed to lose the fight. What do you think's going wrong for the side of Undertake on that defense?
Yeah, I think they're just kind of, I don't know, I think they're a little like uncoordinated. It's a little strange, like less so than before. It seemed a little lost. They're not really focusing the same targets as they should be, and that's really dangerous, especially when you're on the defense. You attack, you have a couple tries, but when you're on the defense, I mean, you got 2 tries, point A, point B.
Yeah, well, they're gonna have 2 more tries here, but they've only got a minute and 16 seconds to try and get through both. If they manage to capture point A, they will get an extra 30 seconds just to make sure that they can get over to that second point. But they don't have a lot of time to work with here. And this is a pretty hard point to break onto. They are going to be rolling out with the 3 support, 3 tank goats comp. They're probably going to run straight onto the point, looking for as much capture percentage as early on as they can.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be their best bet. They know that that Whisper likes to run the Orisa. This is a pretty good way to deal with that. Get on the point as quickly as you can, and put that frontline pressure. But getting hooked like that is not how you want to play.
Well, it is when you just boost yourself onto the point and meet up with your team here. A Brawl coming out to the point, but a Brawl is going to favor the main tank of a Reinhardt over the Orisa, as we see with Verplex going down. Liam follows, and 1 fires back onto Yes, but they just don't have enough health to try and restabilize on this point. Rez comes out onto Verplex, but this is going to be point A taken for the side of Undertake.
Yeah, it is, but honestly, that Rez might have been worth it. They managed to stall a little bit of time, and you know, when their time bank is what you want to do, now they're gonna have less than a minute on the clock.
Certainly, and I mean, the res will be up for this next fight anyways, right? So you might as well buy those extra 5-6 seconds from resing your main tank.
Exactly. We see Liam here on the top hiding out.
Liam's hiding.
He probably wants to get some key damage in.
He's probably going to hide until they run past him, but they're actually not going to go that way. They're not going to take the high ground. They're going to go straight through the middle. Straight down the middle, son. And the Coalescence comes out to keep them all alive. Burning down a bit of damage here onto Liam. He gets a little low, but the Transcendence is out from the side of Team Whisper. Let's see what this D.Va Bomb gets. It manages to get 2! MJP once again with the clutch ultimate here. That might enable his team to steamroll here. There's only 3 left on the point for the side of Team Whisper. They're not going to spawn in time. 6 players on the point. The emergency Doomfist comes out from Liam. He tries to fire one back, but he just doesn't have enough health. This is probably going to be the point here for Undertake. As soon as they manage to clean up, there it is.
Man, very dominant attack. It's exactly what they needed to do because, you know, they had such a little amount of time. But now it gets a little dangerous. They captured in overtime. They want to win this map. They can't let Undertake actually win with time.
Yes, Team Whisper has a lot of time to do what Undertake was able to do in a very small amount. So we'll see if they're able to do it. Second point here does manage to hold teams out a lot of the time, though. So it could be that Team Whisper, despite a very strong first round of offense, isn't able to secure the win.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. You know, 5 minutes is asking a lot, you know.
That is true.
Yeah, and especially it looks like they're gonna run pretty much the same comp that they faced too. So this is gonna be really difficult. But MGB on the Junkrat.
If it's not broke, don't change it, right? If it got them through in that time bank, they're convinced it'll do it again. But like you said, MJB switching over to the Junkrat. He knows that this is going to be a tank-heavy comp that's been 85% to 90% of what's been played on this map so far this match. So Junkrat, those high explosive rounds coming out from his grenade launcher is going to be able to deal a lot of damage, especially when they group up on the point and in those tight corridors that these tank-heavy compositions love to do.
Yeah, and I like Yes on the Hanzo instead of the Widowmaker, more DPS, and it's way better at dealing with these tanks.
Well, we'll see if he's able to make that prediction come true. And there it is, the Junkrat stabilized on the high ground. MJB, he knows they have to come through that choke. He's gonna make a great use of it. Concussion mine going down and finding one. He's just laying down damage, and it looks like Whisper's gonna have to reset.
Oh, definitely. MJB already with the Junkrat halfway through the first fight. You can tell that. Yeah, he already has it.
So many ults too, not just his, but the Coalescence, the Dragon Strike. They're gonna have Undertake is gonna have a huge advantage coming into this second push.
Yeah, they definitely are. And Whisper definitely has their work cut out from all they really have is the Coalescence, and if Newbie can get high charge, that Graviton, and there's no way it can get eaten. So that's really what it's gonna come down to. But still, 420 left. You're not too stressed out yet if you're Whisper.
Well, you might be stressed out as this Riptire comes down. The Verplex tries to find it with the fire charge. Not quite able to do it as it finds him instead. That is no main tank for the side of Team Whisper. They're going to get punished for it and have to reset early into that fight.
Yeah, definitely. Dragon Strike, maybe a little bit unnecessary, but yes, gets them so quickly, he just probably doesn't matter to him. Look at that, already almost halfway.
Yeah, certainly a strong point A hold coming out here. If you're Team Whisper, you're probably starting to shake in your boots a little bit, and it looks like that's the case. Liam switching over to that Hanzo needs some damage to contest them on the high ground. Want to be able to poke them down a little bit more, make sure that they don't just get that space for free.
Yeah, although now they might be going for they want to go for the Graviton Dragon Strike combo, I think, because you know what, otherwise this combo doesn't really make sense. It's going to be really difficult to get me value, although it looks like it might be working.
They're going to make value out of the Coalescence Graviton. Dob goes down. That's a main healer gone for the side of Undertake. Oh, but the tire comes out. MJB, so good with these high impact ultimates. He's going to restabilize for his team here.
Unbelievable. All they got to do now, but they still have to get onto the point and deal with Storm. But yeah, it looks like this is all but one here.
Interesting ultimate coming out from Perfect Storm. He might be looking to switch up here.
I really hope
so. Probably onto the Zarya. Newbie switched off onto the Widowmaker. Yeah, there it is, onto the Zarya for Perfect Storm. They want to keep that that Dragon Strike Graviton combo, but they also want a Widowmaker to try and contest from a longer distance.
Yeah, I think they realize brawling up against the Junkrat is not going to work. They're absolutely correct. Still 2 minutes, that's definitely enough time to build up some more. Flex already has the Earth Shatter. This could actually come really big. It's really a lot of pressure on Golden Eagle to prevent this from happening. You know, it's so difficult to block shatters as an Orisa.
It definitely is. You have to be very good with the timing on those. But Yes is very good with the timing on his arrows. Newbie goes down, and then he finds Liam. No snipers left for Oh, wow. Correction. No anybody left for the side of Team Whisper. They all go down.
And Perplex died using the Shatter, so now he doesn't have it. And now all they have is...
Wants back.
Yeah, I bet you'd love to press rewind on now. All they have, unfortunately, is Liam's Dragon Strike. It's going to have to be so big, but still, 90 seconds, maybe build some ults and try for a better push.
90 seconds is still more time than Undertake had going in, but they're going to lose their Mercy immediately. That's a reset coming out right away. You can't run into this without that Mercy. You need the healing. You need the res. What a beautiful pick.
Honestly, like the almost Kobe-like concussion mine. Insane that it actually worked. And now because of that, that's another reset. Maybe one good fight left here from Whisper. And two ultimates to their name.
2 ults to their name, but no maps to their name. They need to get through this if they want a chance to stay alive in this series. MJB's not going to want that to happen, though. He brings the tire out, going for the backline. He finds the Zarya. 3 are down now for the side of Team Whisper. They've only got 40 seconds left. They're going to have to go for a quick reset and hopefully get one more push. It's going to be a bit frantic.
Yeah, frantic is right, but still, they still have the 2 ultimates. They were probably hoping to bait some out. Verplex has a chance of redemption here. This Earth Shatter, I know I said it before, but I'm going to say it again. This Shatter needs to be big.
At least he's got some things to work with. Hopefully the Val can keep him alive so his Shatter gets some value this time. See if the Valkyrie is able to actually do that, though. They're running this same charge, and it's not going to work out. Oh, maybe it will. 2 go down each side, but only 1 gets rezzed. Team Whisper finally getting some ground here onto the point. They managed to swing around, and it's just a Coalescence on the other side coming out. They need to take out these DPS, and a Shatter is going to make him take out the Junkrat. That's going to enable Team Whisper to open this up. They just got to stay on point. 1 tick secured. Hanzo up on the high ground, though. Oh, but Newbie switching over to the Pharah is going to take him out. Team Whisper, they're going to have 30 seconds to roll into point B.
Damn, unbelievable. You must be sweating if you're Whisper. Only 30 seconds, and unfortunately, they might have Perfect Storm's ult. That's really all that's going to be. They really need to get through Dobbs. Through Dobbs' Valkyrie. They're going to have a lot of healing going next fight, but oh, that is a great start!
Oh, what a great start for both sides. They trade DPS players. And I'm looking at this whole hog coming out here from Magic Sushi. He's going to chunk down the Lucio so close to a sound barrier. Not going to be able to make it. Quite goes down too. No healers for Team Whisper. And no chance. The Graviton comes out to try and clean them up. They managed to get it, but they don't have any players on the point. Oh, it's just the Zarya, and the spawn advantage doesn't favor them. The Lucio runs in to try and get it, but it's just him. He's not going to be able to do it. Overtime ticks away. No one's going to get there. And Undertaker going to take Horizon and take the series.
Fortunately, it looked like at the end we saw some flickers of something there, but Whisper just couldn't put it together.
Certainly a valiant effort and some amazing signs of life coming out from Team Whisper here. Despite the 3-0 scoreline, this was not a stomp. We might say that a few times here, but this was such a good game. Yes, Newbie, Emma, or MGB, all so good on these sniper heroes.
Yeah, they absolutely are. I think that's part of what the difference maker was. So much kills, so much pick potential came out of that, and you could tell that. You could tell that was a lot of why.
You could indeed. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for me. You'll see Beatdown again as we throw it back on over to the desk.
Hey, guys. What a finish. Our casters were completely right in that even though Undertake 3-0, all of those maps were so close, guys. Beatdown, of course, you were casting that. I want to get your first impression on how that final map went.
Oof, that final map, yeah, that was close. I think despite the overtime rounds being less than close, you know, the difference in time bank and everything, I think Team Whisper just did so well. I think what the problem they might be is they're a bit of like slow starters. So because that happens, you know, they didn't get as much time bank early on in the stage due to, you know, slow swapping, you know, not exactly the compositional shakeups they needed. And because of that, it hurt them in the later rounds.
And I do have to say a quick congratulations to Thibbledork for calling it at the very beginning. He picked, of course, Undertake to win the whole thing, and indeed they did. And I would love to hear from you, of course, Thibble, for that final map, what your opinion on the whole shebang was. We saw some pretty amazing rip tires in there.
Just to put it in perspective, my page of notes for Horizon Lunar Colony was as long as the other two maps probably put together. There was a lot going on here, lots of adaptation, lots of changes, but lots of good consistency as well coming out from Undertake. The most notable of which I have to say is MJB. That guy's a god. It didn't matter what he was playing. He could play Hanzo, Junkrat, his rip tires were going crazy, his Dragon Strikes were getting kills. He's crazy accurate. It doesn't matter what they were doing, he was integral, whatever. Very important to Team Undertake there. Team Whisper did their best, still very close, as we've said a few times here now. There was always a point where they could have brought it back, but they just often struggled. Their second attack, they maybe waffled a bit too much. They kind of outthought themselves in a way. But I think if they can really nail that down in the coaching phases, we're looking at a pretty good team there. So very close still.
Beatdown, would you agree with that assessment that they were overthinking themselves, Team Whisper, and that's what cost them today's games?
No, I don't think so, honestly. Like, no, I think a lot of the struggle came from, for Plex. I'm not like to place blame on him specifically, but it's just, when you put a new tank into the team, that's a new style you have to get used to. And, especially on the earlier maps, that's a lot of the problems we saw. Your team kind of getting ahead of themselves, not really working together properly. And I think it's because they're still getting used to the new role, the new person on such an integral role in the team.
Absolutely agree there. Yeah, main tank is so key in this meta, no matter what comp you're playing, that having a clear advantage in terms of time played was evident for Undertake. Magic Sushi and Golden Eagle were ridiculously good. They knew each other very well. They knew the rest of the team very well. They knew how to communicate what they were doing and when and where and why, and the team could always back them up on that. Verplex, you could tell, had lots of ideas, but so did the rest of the team as to how to best go about a fight or something like that. And that often caused a couple people to get caught out. Golden Eagle would get some great shatters or a good charge, lots of great gravitons from Magic Sushi. I'll also point out that newbie Zarya kind of struggled. He's maybe a bit better of a sniper than a Zarya here, but when they pulled out Goats or any triple tank composition, they often ran him there. I think he maybe wants to put in a little more time there to be as good as Magic Sushi, because it was clear that he was pretty outmatched in that particular matchup.
And Beatdown, and this is going to go to both of you, but Beatdown, I'm going to start with you. What on both teams, Undertake and Team Whisper, do you think that they very specifically excelled at in comparison to their other team that they were playing against? So what did Team Whisper really just nail? What did Undertake really excel at?
See, I think Undertake really excels with the Orisa Hog defense because it's really impressive to see a team that really practices their halt hook combos, and you could see watching it that they have practiced it a lot. Like, they're very good with it, and that's an important part of that strategy. That's mainly why you play Orisa. It's literally for that synergy because of its powerful pick potential, and they played it really well. Team Whisper, not so much. But on the other side, Team Whisper, I think, played the sniper comps a little better, mostly partially due to having the better sniper players. But I would still say that was their edge over Undertake.
Sybil?
I could agree with that. I think newbie overall, I don't know if I want to say he was the better Widowmaker, but man, he was impressive. He pulled out all the stops on this match. And like I said earlier, having double sniper is a little more consistent, and Liam did not run sniper for whatever reason. He ran, well, I'm sure we could think of a reason, but I mean, he ran Tracer, Genji, Reaper, but never Hanzo. So I think having that double sniper out might be an advantage that Team Whisper really wants to look into. I think it's really important right now that both of those heroes are on the field as much as possible, though the Reaper did throw people off a little bit. So newbie definitely the edge for Team Whisper that they need to build around. I really liked his play. But I think the edge for Team Undertake was just general consistency. Your tank line's great. Your support line is communicative. Your DPS line is ridiculous and adaptable and flexible. Very deep hero pools for both of them. I think just generally Undertake's a little more well-rounded, but Team Whisper has some great spikes that they can build off of to be a really strong and scary team.
So this is my personal favorite part. I want to hear from both of you. We saw a lot of great trades. We saw, I think, a couple 3Ks, some big moments from both teams. So what was your personal favorite play, favorite moment from all of these maps between Undertake and Team Whisper?
Favorite.
I'll take this one.
Okay.
It's gotta be the Electric Cowboy Nano McCree play.
Oh,
And not
damn, that was
just
good.
because not just because I watch a lot of Critical Role and I like Matt Mercer or whatever. It's just that was a smart play. That was not a I'm gonna walk down main and I'm gonna press Q and you guys better hold shield on me and we're just gonna see what happens. That was the rest of the team is gonna push up onto high ground, right? Distract the entire enemy team, have them backing up towards spawn. I'm gonna hang out in the lower left area and just wait for them to fall right into my trap. And then they will all die. And that's what happened. It was amazing.
Yeah, I hate to piggyback, but I really gotta agree with you. It was so good. The fact that their shield tank was already down and they actually had no way to block it, them being distracted, just icing on that cake.
Mm-hmm.
And now, of course, we're running down the end of week 2 for Open Division EU. What are your guys, Thibault, I'll go to you first. What are your major takeaways from what we saw today?
Overall, I think it's very interesting to see the variety of comps coming out right now. I think it's great that we're not just running 1 or 2 different comps. I've seen like 4 or 5, and that's not accounting for some fringe picks that we saw today. I think there could be more. I think there should be. This is Open Division. Let's go. But overall, I think teams are figuring out what's working. This meta has taken the longest out of any of them to figure out like what's the one thing we want to run. Largely because there isn't one. There are many situational comps for certain maps or certain parts of certain maps. So it's really good that people are figuring those out now and can consistently adapt. So seeing these EU division teams pop up like that and really learn the ins and outs is a really good sign for them because then they can apply that more consistently and we're going to start seeing some really good matches.
Beatdown?
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. It is a good sign for how well they'll do in the future and the future games we're going to see. And I think a personal takeaway for me is usually what always comes out is that you can always have like really strong mechanical players, but it comes down to the team play. And you could tell that Undertake, as is every other team who wins in Overwatch, it's just the team play was there and it has to always be there.
Yeah, we brought up early on the difference in SR, 3,800 versus 3,250 on average. Oh, this is going to be a stop.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a 3-0, but look, the mechanicals or the mechanics, I guess I should say, weren't the biggest thing that won it for them. It was their coordination. No. Like, yeah, they clicked heads with the best of them, but so was Newbie. Just as many people on Team Whisper were popping off as on Undertake. It's just a matter of Undertake having a little more smoothness. They were a little silkier there. And I think that was really important for them. Not necessarily their ability to get some kill feed stuff going.
Yeah. And I think we can all say congratulations to the big W for Serbi and Undertake. Of course, don't forget that these broadcasts are brought to you by Broadcast.gg. If you love esports, if you love the broadcasting side of esports, go right down here where I'm pointing to the panel. Come join our Discord. Opportunities, experience, great people. You don't want to miss it. So please make sure to join the Discord and check it out. And then, of course, later today, we've got even more going on. So stay tuned. 3 p.m. Eastern, we've got Open Division NA, which is sure to be a great time. New hosts, casters, analysts, come check them out, cheer them on, and your teams and your players. Of course, thank you again to our analysts here. We had everyone from Beatdown to Thibault, Paulsable. Thank you guys for being here with me. It was pretty early for us, but I think we did a really good job. So thank you guys, and we will catch you soon. Again, stay tuned for later today.